All right, welcome to Lunch and Learn with Lori and Lori. We are your hosts, Lori Highby. I am the president and owner of Keystone Click, and Lorry Rifkin. He is the owner of Clarity Management. Happy Tuesday, Lori.
How you doing today?
Great. I had a wonderful holiday weekend. Hope you did as well.
I actually got to do something that people challenged me to do. I sat still for 2 hours fishing on the Milwaukee River, so that was quite interesting.
All right. Did you get any good catches?
No, I just caught a tiny little fish. It's kind of embarrassing.
Hopefully you enjoyed yourself, though.
Oh, it was a good time. It was a good time, though.
Good, good, good. All right, so today we're going to talk about some best practices using Zoom and Zoom networking, right? So what are some of the basic tips to networking on Zoom?
Well, there's two parts to this. Let me just preface this: the technical parts and the strategy part. So some of the basic tips on a technique would be make sure your name is showing. Make your name what you want it to say. You could customize that. Make sure you have some good lighting so they could see you. A lot of times I go on Zoom meetings, people are totally in the dark. Create a business background if you could do a virtual background. My computer's not fast enough, but others are, so you could do a green screen. It's just some of the basic stuff so you're ready to go on your call.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely recommend using your full name or adding your business name, such as what I do in mine. And I have a ring light in front of me when I'm on my calls, and it definitely helps make me stand out. Are you using any lighting specifically for yourself?
I'm using a desk lamp, but your light is better. What type of light do you use?
It's a ring light. I just bought it off of Amazon. It was probably like $30. I'll throw the link into the post of the specific one that I bought.
That'd be good to do that.
Nice. How do you get ready for your Zoom networking calls?
Well, one, I go in with a purpose. My purpose of all networking is to generate one-on-one meetings. And I start by having a Word document open, which has the meeting name and the date. I put my contact information in there. It's a standard document, so I could always paste that into a chat. And it lists my company website, my LinkedIn connections, so people could easily connect with me. Because again, if you want one-on-one meetings, people have to connect with you and know you. And I also now I'm going to start putting in my Facebook page.
Nice. Yeah, I do a very similar thing. I use OneNote. So I have a OneNote tab that has, here's all my contact information, so I can easily do a copy and paste. And then, yeah, all of my information is easily there. And I noticed one of the updates that Zoom had recently was now the links are active, where before you had to copy and paste the links. So that's really helpful too. Yep. So what do you do once you're on the Zoom call?
Once everyone logs on, I take a screenshot. I use Snagit. I take a screenshot for multiple reasons. If I'm going to do a post, I want a picture. And the second reason is if people don't sign up on the chat, I have their names from their pictures, and I could use that. And while the call is actually going on, I'm also connecting with people on LinkedIn to make sure I have the right person. Sorry about that. When you live in the city, you got the fire department go by. If sometimes there's 10 names of someone's name on LinkedIn. So if I can't figure it out, I could go in the chat and say who you are. Mm-hmm. And I also ask questions. I participate. That's something else I would tell people. I'm seeing that a lot. People show up at Zoom meetings because their boss says you should be doing something. I show up at Zoom meetings with a purpose. So I ask questions. If there's an engaging speaker, I'll ask them questions in the chat. So one of my goals is to participate. And I would tell everyone should do that because this is a form of networking. It's representing your business. If you sit there and don't participate, people have an image of you forming in business. How could you be somebody representing a company, a great product, when you never even talk in a Zoom meeting?
Yeah, I think those are all great tips to collect and connect with people on LinkedIn right away. I definitely am a fan of doing that as well. If I haven't connected with them, I do reach out and say, hey, it was great to be on this specific call. So then they know, the source of the connecting with them. The other thing I think it's important, especially if you're in a big group, is to make sure that you're muting yourself so that, if you don't have a fire truck going by and it's not going to disrupt, the rest of the call unless you are the one speaking. Just not only for whatever background noises, but, sometimes there's whatever audio issues that might take place as well. But engaging in the conversation is definitely important. Like you said, that's the reason you're there, to meet new people and to showcase your expertise. So what do you do once the call is over?
I always do a LinkedIn post where I thank the host. I talk about some of the key points we talked about. I mention everyone who was on the meeting. And I encourage people during the call to make a comment about it so we all get some good publicity out of the meeting. And if someone else does a post first, I'll always put a comment or ask a question. What did you get out of this meeting? What did you learn? What are you going to do from this meeting? To spark engagement and participation. Again, the whole purpose why we're on these meetings is to participate, get to know people, build a network, and hopefully one day down the road, get business out of it.
Absolutely. The goal is to continue to network. And I think right now, a lot more people are open to expanding their network and their reach because we're indoors. So we're not just driving to networking meetings at the moment. So anything else you do after that call?
Well, even on that call is if there's a topic I have knowledge in, I always talk, because one of the other goals should be to develop yourself as a subject matter expert so people want to come to you. So one of the side goals is to always engage, and if you know something, talk about it. So people come to you for advice, people seek you out, people look to you as someone who can answer questions, because that's part of building your brand too, is being somebody who can help other people. I'm also learning on Zoom meetings, and as most people are learning, not all Zoom meetings are created equal. Mm-hmm. Some of them are pretty much worthless, and some are so engaging you wish you could do 5 a day. That was one reason I'm hosting my own private virtual lunch with Lori Zoom meetings. And even before you could come into the Zoom meeting, you have to connect with everyone else. You have to answer a series of questions. I'm going to force participation. I would originally thought people wouldn't do that, but I've sold out 2 events and have a waiting list for the 3rd. People are looking to participate. It's many times the host who don't think they'll participate, they don't force it, but once you ask that, it's unbelievable what can happen.
Yeah, I think what you're doing is great. It's disrupting what has already been disrupted and the networking. But I would say most people are looking for some sort of structure or guidance and direction on how to network, as opposed to just, let's get a bunch of people in a room and see what happens. So any final?
And that is, that's one of the things. If you don't have a network, don't have a brand, and you come to a Zoom meeting, it's hard to build that because you're not coming with a purpose again. And you're right, most people are looking for that structure. And all I would tell those people is go a little bit out of your comfort zone and experiment. There's a lot of Zoom calls. After you're off the Zoom call, 2 days later, people forget it. Take the chance and experiment. Try different things. See what works and what doesn't work. It doesn't have to be a static environment. Take advantage of it, make something of it, because it's not going to go away even when the COVID is gone.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's lots of opportunities to expand the network, to showcase your expertise. And if anything, this is a positive because people are stepping outside of their comfort zone and now they're becoming more comfortable with this type of networking.
Yeah, it's important if you're the host of the call to promote that too. I've seen that too many hosts on these calls, Zoom calls, aren't willing to ask people, I need you to participate. Everyone should connect to each other on this call. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do a post about the call. Please make some comments. I think a lot of what you just said is dictated by the host, not thinking of it as a true networking experience.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, this wraps up another episode of Lunch and Learn with Lori and Lori. If you have any questions around using Zoom for networking purposes, feel free to reach out to either of us. All right, have a great rest of your week. See ya.
You too. Take care then.